Our buddy's back.
Buddy
Brown.
Brown. Okay. What's Buddy got for us today, AJ?
He's talking about chicken nuggets and
Karen's.
He's a little bit pissed off about McDonald's.
Oh.
Sounds like.
What's going on, y'all? You know what I find absolutely hilarious? I turned on the news a couple days ago and I saw Karen. And Karen is losing her dadgum mind because she had to wait 53 minutes to get her chicken nuggets in the McDonald's drive-thru. And I just want to say, this is what you voted for, darling, because y'all see Karen votes Democrat all the way down the line. And in that little dream that they have is universal base income. Everybody gets free money. Money for doing nothing. That's the new dream right there. So Karen, when nobody's at the service industry restaurants, it don't even stop at McDonald's. It's going to go all the way up the ladder. You just wait. And you're trying to figure it out? This is why. I wrote a little song for you. There once was a land of McDonald's workers. $10 an hour for flipping those burgers. Then stimulus checks came onto the scene. They soon figured out a new way to make green. Now nobody works at McDonald's. Nobody flips burgers no more. Nobody works at McDonald's when free money comes right to the door.
Did something happen at McDonald's?
I think he was denied service there.
Maybe he was denied a job there. He wasn't qualified. It's possible.
Yeah, he did apply for it, and they rejected him.
Well, it's understandable. So we have a story. Right?
Yeah, so he's back again with one other video, and he's talking about how it's taking long time for people to get their food from McDonald's.
Okay. And what's the reason for that?
Yeah, some Karen was complaining about standing in line for 53 minutes to get her chicken nuggets.
That's a long time. That's a long time. I wonder why that was.
I mean, I wouldn't want to stand there 53 seconds for chicken nuggets.
No, unless it was Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But this lady obviously had one lot of time and a lot of patience.
God, she really wanted those chicken nuggets.
Yeah, or she just wanted those nuggets. I mean, sometimes you got to have what you got to have.
Gotta have them, huh? So this stems from a story about a manager at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And he put up a sign. And the sign was something like, what, nobody wants to work at McDonald's?
Yeah, so...
And now Buddy's, his take on this is that, what, liberals are to blame?
Yeah, he's saying that it's the fault of the liberals because they provided stimulus checks to these people.
Right, because we never had bad service before stimulus, right?
No. You never had any cold food or anything like that. So.
Missing items, hairs. You're right, the stimulus was the cause of all. It's the root of all evil.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the $1,400 are just going to go a long ways, huh?
Sure will. Who knows?
Well, who knows? I mean,
Support
unless
your
you're
whole
living on
lifestyle.
a bridge, they will go long ways. I think $1,400 basically will cover 1 month's rent.
But that's it, all right?
That's it.
Don't plan to eat or have heating or air conditioning or a vehicle.
So his point is that since free money is coming in, people don't want to work.
Mm-hmm.
But our another buddy named Ben Shapiro, didn't he say this is free market? If they don't want to work, they don't have to work, right?
Oh, Benjamin Shapiro. Yeah. He did say something like that. Yeah, it's free market, right? That's how it is.
About a statement you made earlier when you said voluntary decisions can't lead to exploitation. I think that's a little misleading.
Mutually voluntary, yeah.
Because what it assumes is that, even in nominally voluntary, instances, there can't be exploitative behavior. And I get sort of what you're saying. Like, usually when we think of exploitation, we think of, someone being forced or coerced to do something. People don't have a lot of money, they're not making a lot, and so someone's like, you know, totally at the bottom, and they, you know, make a contract with one of these employers, they're making a decision. They're taking a bad, they're taking the least bad option.
Right.
You know, and that employer might say, hey, you know, you'll work for me, you'll work 80 hours a week,
Right.
and I'll pay you $2 an hour. I mean, it's the least bad option, and it's a voluntary decision, but I think it still is exploitative.
Okay, but you know what's, so here's the problem. In seeking to end that exploitation, what you are very often doing is providing them a choice now of no choice. Meaning, for example, let's take up minimum wage law, which is essentially, Lochner is talking about things like minimum wage laws. You're talking about maximum work hours and that sort of thing. So the problem with a minimum wage law is that what you have now done is you've circumscribed choice even further, because you're not actually giving people a broader range of choices. Now you're telling employers that they have to hire people at a certain price. They may think that the employee is not worth the price and just not hire them. And this is what happens very often with minimum wage laws. The solution to all of this is something that I believe in, which is private unionization. So I think the private unionization, you get together with all your friends, you say, listen, none of us are gonna work for anything below this wage. We're not allowed to kneecap anybody because that's use of force. But if all of us agree, we're not gonna go in, we're not gonna work in this place that's gonna kill us in 2 years. That's perfectly legitimate and good, right? Collective bargaining on a voluntary basis is a good thing and doesn't violate any free market principles. What I don't like is the idea that if you decide to take a job at $7.50 an hour, and I think that I could have bargained better than you, right? That I could have bargained it up to $10, for example. Or I think that if you'd held out a little longer, you might have gotten $10. Or I think that maybe you couldn't have, but you know, the guy can afford $10. You are now imposing your own view of a situation on the actors who are engaging in the act itself. We don't do this in any other area of life. It seems bizarre to me that we would do it in the area of economics.
If these people don't want to work for minimum wage job, then they don't have to work. They can go find a job that pays a lot, you know, a lot more.
Or
So,
alternatively, wait for those
yeah.
stimulus checks.
Yep.
But I don't think these two run in the same circles. Buddy
No,
Brown
they
and Ben
don't.
Shapiro, so
No.
probably why he hasn't heard of Ben and his ideas of capitalism.
Yeah, Ben
Free markets.
Shapiro has a problem of wearing something on his head that goes. We don't know Buddy's views, but
I mean, given his affiliation
Yeah.
politically, you know, we can.
we can.
Assume.
We can guess. We're assuming actually.
So, yeah. So of course, his brilliant take on the whole situation is that because, you know, Karen is a Democrat.
Yeah.
She voted for liberals and Democrats, and they passed a stimulus, and because of that stimulus, she can't get service at McDonald's.
It's her fault.
That's the circle completes itself.
Yeah.
It's all your fault, Karen. You know, don't vote Democrat.
No, and
That's what
you will
happens.
get all the conservatives come and work in McDonald's.
And you vote Republican, and then you'll never have a missed order at McDonald's or
No.
any kind of delay. It'll be just as efficient as can be.
I mean, why would why can't he look at it the other way? What if McDonald's just raised their wages? You know, would that bring people in?
It might, AJ. It might bring top quality people in.
Yeah.
But why would you want to raise your wages? I mean, how would you make money that way?
Well, yeah. I mean, a McDonald's CEO cannot survive on just $24 million.
Exactly.
I mean,
You're taking money out of his pocket and out
Yeah.
of you're taking food out of the mouths of his family.
yeah. I mean, his kids need private schools.
Well, they're gonna go public school?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, AJ. So yeah, look, I wish Buddy could see it that way, but you know,
He doesn't.
no, he doesn't. But
He only sees it through Hobby Lobby or.
yeah, well, you know. But do we want to talk about Ben Shapiro now, or
Yeah, we can.
since we brought him up?
Yeah, since our buddy already mentioned in this video.
So what do we have with him?
Ben Shapiro tweeted out a tweet the other day. And he's talking about George Floyd case, you know, when the verdict had reached.
Right.
So I think Don Lemon was the one that tweeted out that justice has been served.
Oh, right. Sure. And I'm sure Ben agreed with him, right?
Ben did agree. The The only thing was that he said if the verdict was the other way around, Don Lemon would not say that.
Oh.
He said in his words is, and we all know he would never have said this had the reverse verdict been reached.
And if the video hadn't existed of Derek Chauvin killing George Floyd, he wouldn't have a trial. So,
Yeah.
yeah. It would. Okay, look, if it had been a different verdict, it'd have been pretty extraordinary, considering the evidence we had supporting conviction. That would have been extraordinary. Yeah, I'm sure Don Lemon wouldn't feel the same way. So
Of course not. I mean, Don Lemon has a right to disagree with your with something that you agree with.
Sure, absolutely.
I mean, just because he disagrees with you doesn't mean that it's wrong.
No, it's just an opinion.
Yeah, it's an opinion. I mean, Ben Shapiro, I'm sure, has agreed with a lot of other verdicts that are out there. I'm sure he agrees with the, that Trump should have never been impeached.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure. So, it's okay. We can disagree on these things. It's like we can agree or disagree that the Capitol rioters are patriots or terrorists. It's one of those things.
I mean, he agreed that they were the patriots and they were freedom fighters. I don't know if he did or not, but I'm assuming that he did.
Today's freedom fighters
Yeah.
are tomorrow's terrorists, right? Who knows? Yeah, well, that's just, again, interpretation, where you stand on the issue. Nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
It's just how you see the world.
And he just doesn't think that, people can have a different view on the same thing.
No.
I mean, it's a matter of you. It's not even a matter of your opinion because video clearly shows that he's guilty. I mean, he's the only one that with the knee on his neck. So,
yeah, the only question was it lawful? And the jury said nope.
Nope.
It wasn't. And that's it. So, yeah, well, Ben Shapiro thinks he's right 100% of the time. So,
yeah.
Well, of course you would. And he's always on the side of law enforcement.
I mean, he also tweeted out, this is another interesting one. It said, because temperature is rising incrementally over the course of the century is not inherently dramatic. He's talking about climate change there. Time had put out a article saying climate change is the biggest story on Earth. So why can't Hollywood make good TV shows and movies about it?
Sure.
So.
And your rebuttal to that is?
And No Decorum, the political podcast, tweeted back.
They sound legit.
Yeah. Just as temperature in your car has a safe operating level, if it keeps rising over the lifetime of the car, it will break down and shorten the life of the car. In other words, I'm equating car and Earth, Mother Earth.
Wow.
Same. But the analogy is the same thing. I mean, it's the same that, okay, if your car has it has to operate in a certain level. It cannot be too cold. It cannot be too hot. It needs to be in somewhere in the middle for it to operate properly.
Right.
And if it keeps going up, that means there's something wrong in your car, and eventually it's going to overheat.
Better pull over and let it cool down. Huh?
Yeah, and it's going to stop, and you'll be walking home then.
No, that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
It's really it's apt. Maybe he'll see it, and he'll change his mind.
I doubt it.
Okay, well, time will tell. Time will tell. Yeah, well, that's Ben Shapiro. You got to take when you're a right-wing pundit, you have to take every right-wing position, and no matter how absurd it is, you have to reinforce it. And that's
but
fine.
why they don't get this, that there is only one Earth, and if this is there's no, let's say, a climate or environment for you to live, how are you going to survive? I mean, how is that going to be possible?
They probably think the wealthy people will find a way, like himself. They'll find a way to be.
You think they'll dig a tunnel underground or something?
Well, they'll just have really efficient air conditioning units, and they'll be very cool in their homes. And they might have their own gardens, in the greenhouse, whatever, hydroponically grown, and
but
they're going to be fine.
They're still going to need people to produce electricity, right?
That's true.
And those people can't go to work without breathing.
Well, they'll be living underground for sure. Who knows? Maybe he'll be on Mars with.
They'll be 6 feet underground. That's for sure. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, he might join Jeff Bezos on Mars, and he'll be okay. Yeah, I don't think they see it as a problem. I think a lot of people in the West or wealthy countries don't think it's as much of a problem for themselves as. I think they're willing to sacrifice the third world. First.
Yeah, they see Bangladesh or places like that will be underwater.
It's fine.
Who cares?
We're okay where we are. So.
We don't need those people anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lack of empathy and to be expected anyway. So.
Yeah. Or they just don't want to breathe.
Or they don't want to breathe air. Yeah, very good point. Well, time will tell. But we don't have much time, so.
No, we don't.
We really need to. Anything else on Old Ben?
Those are the two I thought we should talk about.
Yeah. I think our listeners need to hear those things too.
Yeah. And I think we got our point across.
Not everybody can follow Ben on Twitter.
Not
everybody can stomach those tweets, You have a high tolerance, and I appreciate that.
But we're providing service for our community, so.
Yeah, we'll get dirty for you guys. We'll get down in the mud.
We'll wrestle with the pig.
So you guys don't have to.
Yeah.
All right.